Hi guys, in this video we are going to discuss about Python scope, and a scope is defined as a variable is only available from inside the region it is created. So this is called scope. So there are two scopes, local scope and global scope. First we will discuss that local scope. So in local scope, a variable created inside a function belongs to the local scope of that function. So if we look at the example of that, here we have a function and we have a variable x and assign a value 300 and then we are printing it. So this is the example of our local scope where we have created our variable inside a function locally and printing that and then executing our function. So it will going to print at 300. So the next scenario is function inside a function. So if we create the variable and inside a function, for example, if we have a function and have another function inside our function, so just remove that. So here we have my function and created a variable x and assigned value to 300, and then we have another function. So this is a nested function in our my function. So we have another function in our function and then we are accessing that variable in that. So this is also because of local scope that we have created the variable in our function and we are accessing that in another function that is inside our parent function. So if we run that, just save it and run that, it will also going to print 300 because we can access that locally. So the next is our global scope. So in global scope, a variable created in the main body of the Python code is a global variable and belongs to the global scope. So let's look an example of that. So here we have a variable x globally because it is outside of our function. So that is our global variable and in that function we are accessing that variable. And after that we are calling that function and after that we also want to print that variable to check that it's a global variable. So let's save it and run it and you will see there are two 300 printing in the terminal. So that's because first we are calling that function that is printing x and after that we just printing that x variable that is set to globally. So that is the scope and also you can set your global variable by just typing the global keyword. So if you want to set it, you can set it like this global and you can assign it to it, but you cannot use that global keyword outside of your method or function. You can only use that your inside because in outside it's just okay to use as name the variable outside of Python in the main body. So it will automatically use as it globally. So if you want to create a global variable inside a function, you can use the global keyword. For example, if I use that global keyword and assign x to it and just assign a value to 300 and after that it will if I execute that function and also print x outside of that function. It will going to print me two 300s. So you can create global variables with a global keyword. So also you can change the global keyword value. For example, if we have just remove that. So if we have a global variable there and assign a value 300 and save it and run it, so we have 300. And now if we want to change that value, you can change by just typing the global keyword x and setting the value again to 200. And now if I going to print that, it will going to print me the newly setted value 200. So that's how you can create your global variable and change the value of that global variable. So that's it guys for this video.